Welcome to the Gadget Spot.
CES special.
Yeah.
CES 2017 Part 1 edition.
Yeah.
There's going to be multiple parts
Yeah,
to this?
because there's so much to cover.
There's 3 floors, I found out.
I thought we were just going to have it this week because me and Owen didn't go, and then after that we were going to put a bullet in it and never
Nope.
revisit it
And this
again.
marks the year anniversary from our very first episode.
That's true.
CES
Really?
last year.
1 year anniversary.
That's right.
And we were at CES this year. Well, 2 of us.
Well, we made a goal
And-
last time. Right after we ended recording last time, we said, we're going to go to CES next time. And I said that and was like, I'm going to do that. And then I didn't. But you guys did, and as a team, the goal was accomplished.
Yes, victory. Victory as a team.
Woo! Woo! You know, I was a casual observer of your guys' Facebook posts, facebook.com/gadgetspot, and I was really, really jealous that I didn't end up going with you guys.
It was a
at
lot
the
of
end.
fun, and we saw a lot of cool things.
Yeah, it was also a lot of work, though. I mean, I came home...
What do you mean a lot of work?
I came home probably more tired than when I left.
Imagine going to Disneyland 3 days in a row.
How?
It's hard.
Well,
We walked close to 7 miles each day.
7 whole miles.
Yes.
Yep.
Get
And we didn't even
outta
see
here.
the whole
And we didn't even
exhibit.
see everything.
Yeah.
I was being facetious. 7
Oh, I
miles.
couldn't tell.
Oh,
7 miles?
I don't walk that
That's
ever.
a lot of miles.
7 miles is quite a bit.
That's
Is it?
21. 21
it?
miles
That's a
of pure
marathon in 3
CES.
days.
Is it though?
That's a lot.
So did you feel like it was pretty packed when you guys were there?
200,000
yeah,
people.
It was.
Holy cow.
Like, okay,
There were certain areas that were more packed than others.
you've been
for
to Salt
sure.
Lake Comic Con, right?
Yeah, a couple
Okay,
times.
and then you guys, have you guys ever been to Salt Lake
Yeah.
Comic Con? When you went to CES, was it as packed as?
I would say the population density at CES was probably a little bit less because there was so much more space.
They went vertical.
They went, well, I mean, CES took up all of every hall in the Las Vegas Convention Center, which the Las Vegas Convention Center is probably,
Where's that located at?
it's in Las Vegas.
Well, yeah,
It's
but like,
probably in
what part of Las Vegas?
kind of south of the Strip.
I could see Trump Tower from there.
You can see that from anywhere.
Where did you guys end up staying?
We stayed in
Hampton
Summerlin
Inn.
and the Hampton Inn. We
You
So you
said
came back with like
Humpton.
ringworm or something?
no
Not yet.
Hampton Inn was
Bed
fine.
bugs. It's called bed bugs. They come back. That's
Well,
It was
I-
a good hotel experience.
I am very afraid of lice, and I tried on many headsets.
which
so,
surprised me.
Yeah, I might have lice. We'll see.
Jaron somehow turned off his germophobia
For
Yeah.
3 days.
for 3 days. I just found out. I thought for sure it was going to be a nightmare with him worrying about every handshake and
No, he didn't shake any hands.
Oh no,
Did you?
You
bump it?
didn't either.
I know. We didn't shake
Yeah.
any
It's
hands.
not like we're the people
but
that make
picking up-
contacts or network or anything like that.
Shut up.
Did you
Man,
guys
such
really
a
not
downer.
network at all while
No,
you
I
were
did.
there?
Dude, there's
I tried.
hundreds of thousands of people there.
I
So
tried. I
that
tried a
means
little
it's really
bit.
easy.
And we're like the least legit people of them all.
I feel
No.
like maybe
Jared.
because we did kind of talk about should we get business cards made before, and I
We
said
should-
heavens no.
We should definitely
But
have them for next time.
CES, I could
Yeah.
see, because the thing is I've had business cards before. I have business cards in my pocket right now, and I barely ever hand it out.
Let me tell you, at the very least, we should have business card next time for drawings. They say put your business card in this fishbowl and win a prize.
I tried it twice and I didn't win anything.
Yeah, well,
No,
Yep.
no.
But we have email and stuff, so we should do that before we.
well,
get to CES.
let's introduce the cast.
Can I go
yeah.
first?
Yeah,
Can
I
I go
forgot it.
first?
All right,
Yay!
let's hear from Owen.
Hey, I'm Owen, and we're gonna do things like normal, James, because I crave routine.
I'm trying to switch things up. Like I want to sit where
We
you
go
There's a,
counterclockwise.
there's a specific order that we do things.
Yeah, sorry. I'm Owen, and you can follow me on Twitter at TechNoan, or hit me up on Xbox Live. I don't get a lot of time to play, but Mordieth84.
More like
And
no time to play.
you can follow me on Twitter, and if you follow me on Twitter, you automatically get my gamer tag because I'm cool like that, and I send it out to you.
Boom.
So, anyway,
There you go, Jaron.
I'm Jaron on Twitter and Vinegary Jaron on Xbox Live. That's it. That's me. I'm Jaron.
What's up, guys? My name's James. You can find me on Twitter at JDDJensen or on Xbox Live at Funeral Taters. That's Funeral Space Taters. Or if you want, you can catch me.
Isn't it capital F, capital T?
Yeah, capital F, capital T. Or you
Capital
can catch me
V, capital J for
on
mine.
the Gadget Spot.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
You're already
Yep.
listening to.
Yep.
Or YouTube at one of my various channels. Or sometimes Geek Show.
And I'm your host, Tony. Find me on Twitter at QuadTTony, or you might hear me on the Geek Show podcast, Quad T, on the podcast. I'm the producer and panelist on there. And let's see, covered Twitter.
Owen's sticking his hand down his pants
I'm
and
scratching my stomach.
itching vigorously.
Look,
And then he tried to touch you with that hand.
Speaking of that, Owen, I'm looking on our YouTube page, which is YouTube. Just search the Gadget spot.
yeah.
But your overcoming social anxiety on YouTube alone is up to 210.
Hey, yeah.
But it's like surpassed a couple thousand on Facebook, so that's fun.
Oh, that's awful that people have seen that.
You should be proud of that.
I mean, I'm
video.
super proud of it.
proud of it.
We're actually in the works of making part 2 of that for James. So
Part 2. Oh, that is
that's the thing.
not going to happen.
That's a thing.
It might happen.
That's as crazy as me climbing to the top of a tower at Lagoon and falling off.
Which was what James wanted Owen to do.
I
for a
really
while.
wanted that to happen.
So he had, for the listeners out there who don't know the inside joke, there he was going to
I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
he was
I
going to
hate
trick me to
snakes.
fall off the swing at Lagoon here.
And what these guys want me to do is they want to record me.
We just want you to touch one.
Just touch
That's
him.
not going to happen.
Just
There's no way.
Just touch.
I
What
can't
if
even
little-
watch snakes on TV.
a
What
little
if
touch.
What if I told you about the snake that's under the chair right now?
It's taped to the chair.
Well, I mean, the container he's in, the Ziploc bag's taped to the bottom of your chair. I punched holes in it so he can't get out super fast. But
If you could see
That's
his
a real
face.
thing. Like, I'm not going to lie. I would probably quit. Like, I would leave my laptop. Tony can drop it off at Carrie's house later. I can't handle snakes. There's something in my body I can't handle snakes. A snake must have touched me or something when I was a little kid because like I can't do snakes.
the face, for the people that couldn't see, the face
was gold.
Was perfect just now. I don't think I've ever seen him on the verge of tearing somebody's head off.
Now you have.
Usually I'm
Or
a pretty chill person, but when it comes to
snakes.
like how much I hate snakes, I can't do it. All right, should we get into emails or something?
Yes.
I think we should get into emails.
Okay, I was just trying to change the subject because I didn't want to talk about snakes anymore.
Okay, I got an email from Casey Jones.
Hey,
Which
I love
is
that
an
guy.
awesome name.
Yeah. and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He addresses
Yep.
his name later.
Oh, yeah, all right.
He's wondering about VPN. Hello, I've been listening to the show since the start. I'm a big Geek Show fan and have always enjoyed Tony's jokes that never get heard.
Hey, I like those too.
It's even better watching them happen.
Thanks.
So I gave you guys a try. I was wondering what you know about VPNs. While I know basically how they work and what they are used for, I was wondering if it is worth having and what ones can be trusted. I tried to get one at one point and it didn't work out. What are your thoughts and suggestions about them? Thanks for making a great show. I enjoy listening. Casey Jones. P.S. Yes, that is my real name.
Thanks,
Wow.
Casey Jones.
That's cool.
I'm sure he never hears that joke, by the way. So
No,
I'm glad that we were the ones to
Yeah.
broach it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We're original.
I use a VPN. I did a lot of research actually into VPNs because I like security and privacy. So the best place if you want to know a lot of information about them is to go to a website called torrentfreak.com. They have a list of the best VPNs. But I'll save you the work and just tell you to get the one I use is called PIA, or Private Internet Access. These guys met all the check marks of all the privacy concerns that a lot of people are after, and they're $35 a year, which comes
$35 a year.
$35 a year.
That's
so
cheap.
it
That's
comes
not bad
to,
at
like,
all.
You know, a little over
Unlimited usage.
Yeah.
There you go.
So they have a couple cool things about PIA. Number one, they don't save your information. Like that's the thing. When you set up a VPN, you can connect for one account. You connect up to 5 clients.
Mhm.
So I don't think they condone this, but you could technically split that out to 5 different
People.
devices vis-a-vis people, right?
Gotcha.
Wait, hold on. Can you explain what VPN is for the less...
Sorry.
Yeah,
for the
go into that a little bit.
So VPN,
Less knowing of
virtual
a crowd.
private network. So what it does is it takes you have a public IP address. That's what you're known by on the internet. And the VPN, basically you dial into another server and all your web traffic then gets filtered through that server's IP address. So your public IP address is no longer trackable. You become somebody else.
You become anonymous.
You become anonymous. And not anonymous in the way that you think where they can't know your IP address, but you're an IP address that belongs to PIA. And PIA has, they're really, really cool about the way they don't save any data for more than 24 hours. So even if they got a subpoena to say who has had this IP address, all those IP addresses are shuffled through all of their members. There's about 30 different servers you can connect to. I've been to the Toronto one. I've been to Silicon Valley. You can connect to any of them. And the great thing about PIA as well is that they don't throttle your speed. So I have fiber at my house, and when you encrypt your traffic, you inherently slow yourself down. It's kind of the way it goes. But a lot of other VPN providers will also throttle you to a certain speed, because you have to understand they have this one server and they've got X amount of users using that server to go out of, which uses the bandwidth of that server. So therein lies a throughput problem.
Right.
PIA does not limit their bandwidth at all. And they even have it in the client, so it's really simple. You pay. You can pay with Bitcoin if you really want to be crazy and anonymous.
That's very anonymous.
I don't do that because I'm not that scared. But I pay with PayPal, and you don't get a username. They don't link it to an email. They link it to your PayPal account. Technically, I guess that is a weakness. If you choose to pay that way, they could subpoena that, I guess. Anyway, and you get 5 clients, and you can install it on your PC. It's really quick. I have it for Windows. It comes in Linux and Mac as well, and I have it on my phone. So the uses, of course, can be nefarious or really good, like browsing in private Wi-Fi at hotels and stuff is becoming more of a dangerous thing to do. So, or any public Wi-Fi hotspot is really dangerous to do nowadays. So it's pretty cool, and you just click on what server you want to connect to. It'll automatically do that, and it fires it up, and your IP address is changed. And if it feels slow, you can either jump to another server, or they have a button right inside the little client on the desktop that says, I'm experiencing slow speeds, and you hit it. And I've actually done that before, and within about 10 or 15 minutes, my speeds were pretty good. Now I have fiber, like I said, so I have 250 up and down.
Stop bragging, dude.
Sorry.
That's pretty nice.
So I get about 100. I get about half that.
Yeah.
But 100 is still pretty good.
Yep.
Going through a VPN. So they truly don't. That's one of the things I really did. I loaded up. I went and just downloaded like a ton of torrents. Like I went and got all these Linux distros and just loaded up my torrent client, my torrent browser, and my client, and just tried to max it out and see what happened. And it performed about half as well as without it. So
do you just leave it running all the time?
Yeah. Well, some sites, obviously those IPs are known and they can be blacklisted. So a lot of banks will blacklist those IP addresses. A lot of sites they're known to be a VPN address, and so they'll block it. You just have to turn it off for that kind of traffic.
Right. Which is as easy as a click of the mouse.
It's just
right?
Right-click and disconnect, and right-click and connect. So, VPNs, I highly recommend them for downloading things and whatever. It will definitely stop any type of nastygrams from all the ISPs out there, especially now that net neutrality is kind of on the chopping block.
Which I can't believe that's actually on the chopping block.
It's crazy. If you haven't had a chance to look into net neutrality, I suggest you do it. But it's the fight's kind of dying down now. But basically,
well, it's because they're starting to get more and more sneaky about it.
Yeah, right. So anyway, the VPN, you can, by using that, the Comcast or whoever your ISP is, they can't see what type of traffic it is either. And so even if you're not downloading anything illegal, they can't see that it's torrent traffic, and they won't throttle it. A lot of ISPs are starting to, even if they see the protocol of torrent being used,
even if you're downloading legal,
right? Doesn't matter.
Freeware or whatever,
they'll throttle it, and so VPNs kind of get around that. So it also makes it so when I wanted to download the Mario Run or whatever that came out in London, I just connected to a London server and went to the page and got the download. Oh. You can jump all over the globe.
Which, talking about net neutrality too, I mean, there's a lot of companies that are tiptoeing around that rule. Like right now, I think it's like T-Mobile or somebody that's giving you like unlimited Netflix, unlimited.
Yeah, and they package it like it's a good thing.
Yeah, and they package it like it's a
unlimited
good thing.
Music.
But that is net neutrality right there.
Yeah.
That is preferential treatment to one type of service and or websites.
It's pretty crazy.
And like as cool as that is, you need to just be aware that it's a slippery slope.
It is. Then that's the problem is with what you're saying, it sounds like a pro. It sounds like a good thing. You know, they're not using my data limit now for whatever service they decide to add into it. And it, in my opinion, it is a good thing at that point, but the slippery slope comes when they decide to limit the bandwidth or quality of other competing services.
Yeah, like Comcast, they say, you can download as much as you want as long as that's NBC content, but
right.
CBS, nope.
Well, and same for businesses like Netflix, right? Netflix uses like something huge, like a huge percentage of the bandwidth of Comcast right now.
Right.
And Comcast wants to charge them for taking up so much. And if that happens, Netflix is going to be like, well, okay. And we're going to see
our prices will
we'll see the prices go up.
So that's where the problem lies, is when they start charging extra or throttling other services.
Yep.
But the thing is like James said, it's a slippery slope. So it might be great right now, but 10 years down the road, we might see 5 years down the road, we might see this problem arising. So most people's opinion on it is to not have it at all. Don't give anyone preferential.
It's free.
And
the
don't
internet,
don't give anyone. Don't penalize anyone from other services either.
So it's kind of the Wild West. The internet's still the Wild West in that regard.
Thanks, Casey.
Sorry.
You sure know how to touch Owen's buttons.
Yeah, sorry. VPN, I love it. So anyway.
We found your
GPU rant.
Your GPU.
Yep, sorry.
we found Owen's G-spot.
Anything I actually use, I'll
We need to find yours and mine sometime.
Oh, we have Jaren's. It's Sony and Apple products.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's
he
not
doesn't.
true. That's not true.
Okay, then what's mine? I don't think I have one. I don't think I'm passionate about anything enough.
No, I think it's Star Wars for me more than Sony.
I've seen him shoot video before. He's pretty passionate about video.
That day you tried to talk about all the different video editing softwares.
Yep.
That was.
But that's like the one thing.
You don't get to talk about it very often because it's just not something that updates frequently.
But we got a Facebook message from Connor.
Hey,
Connor Ritchie.
Hey, Connor.
He says, each panelist's best gadget purchase of 2016 and most anticipated gadget you will likely buy in 2017.
I'll go first.
Oh, I wanted to go first. Okay, I'll go second.
You can go second. Best purchase of 2016?
You can go second. It's fine.
It was a combination of two purchases. It was the monitor I bought and the graphics cards that I bought for my computer.
Oh,
you have to say that because they were so expensive.
Yeah,
that's
truth.
That's part of it for sure. But I really enjoy what they've done for me. And the most anticipated gadget purchase for next year for me is going to be upgrading the rest of my computer. New CPU, new motherboard, new RAM, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So 2016 was the year of the gadget for me. So this is very, very hard.
You had a good year.
I did have a good year. And 2017, it will not be like that. So I think out of everything I bought this year, probably my two favorite is the Vizio P series.
Oh, yeah.
And my AirPods. I love them both. They are great. And my Siri just went off. How did that happen?
Shut up, Siri.
Most gadget I'm looking forward to. That did not make sense. I know words. Probably Project Scorpio.
Oh, that looks cool.
Xbox, the new Xbox coming out. Or Nintendo Switch. Ooh, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
One of those.
Okay,
That's
so
me.
is the question our favorite gadget in 2016 and what we're looking forward
and
to
your
in
most
2017?
anticipated in 2017.
So there's two.
That is correct.
No. Two favorite gadgets from this last year. So Tony and Owen and Jaren suggested that I get the Nighthawk router.
Ooh, how's that working out for you?
It's really good. I haven't noticed like a ton of difference outside of I got amazing range now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Nighthawk's known for
and
that.
you never ever have to restart it. It's great.
And but secondly, we have started working out in the mornings as of like 2 months ago, give or take a little bit. And we wake up at 5:30 in the morning. My biggest issue with waking up is when it's dark and you have an alarm going off. Not only is it annoying.
You bought one of those?
Yeah. Not only is it annoying, but like it's dark, which simulates your eyes being closed. So like it's super easy to just turn off your alarm and go right back to sleep. This when we first started working out, we went to I don't remember where, but we bought the Philips wake up light.
I love that.
I have one right there,
dude.
It's changed my life.
Where
it's in my room on the dresser.
Yeah, It wakes you up.
Yeah.
Like when you wake up, you are up.
You don't feel extra refreshed or anything, but you don't
It's
feel
easier.
You don't feel
Yeah.
the desire to
I
go
have
back
to-
to sleep nearly as
What?
much.
I gotta get we on.
So
It's actually pretty cool.
if you're kind of a lethargic person and you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, I cannot stress a Philips wake up light more.
Yeah,
And it gets bright.
it does. It gets really bright.
Very bright.
Lights up your whole room.
If it's on like on your nightstand right by your bed, it's like blinding.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
It is a little pricey as far as night lights go, or alarm clocks. I mean, you're looking at like $130 usually.
Ooh,
But
Yep, it's totally worth
You,
it.
But-
you can find it on sale for a little bit cheaper.
but
Ooh.
it's great.
I'll set a price alert on Slick Deals.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
And for 2017, I don't have a gadget yet. I'm
Yeah,
sure
you
we're
got to
gonna
answer it, dude. You got to answer the question.
I'm sure I'm going to get some kind of smart home device controller, like voice controller.
Weren't you excited
Like,
for the Project Scorpio as well? That's the whole reason you were selling your Xbox, which never happened, right?
I'm going to get it, but I wouldn't say that I'm super excited about it.
Oh.
Like I'm thinking about it right now, and it doesn't. It's just
Ugh.
another thing.
Ugh.
So I had a couple gadgets. I got the Nest thermostat. I really like that. So
Very
that's kind of an
nice.
older gadget, but it has been really cool. And then I got the
Solar panels.
oh yeah, does that count as a gadget though?
Yeah,
I mean
I think it
I'd
counts
say
as a
so.
gadget.
I really like them.
But you've
they
had
haven't
such a
done
bad time with it,
They
I
haven't
wouldn't
done
say
jack diddly for me yet since
Oh,
the winter.
no.
So they're going to be the third runner up, I guess. But we got the Amazon Echo for Christmas, so that still counts in this year. And you know what? Say what you want about it. It's pretty fun to play with. Like all the things you can do. The kids have had a blast with it.
Can you connect it to your Nest yet?
I have connected it to my Nest. Yeah.
So can you say, "Hey,
Turn up the-
Alexa, turn
mhm.
up the heat"?
Yeah. Turn up the heat in the blank, and then you put in the name of whatever thermostat you hooked it to, because you can have multiple, right?
Ooh.
It's pretty cool. We've had her tell us stories, play 21 questions. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with it that's more than just...
Have you used it to buy anything off Amazon yet?
Nope. And we haven't listened to the news yet
So you
either.
didn't buy any dollhouses.
We didn't buy any dollhouses. I don't know. That was like, I think my favorite story
That's
this
pretty
last
funny.
week was a newscast that said, Alexa, buy me a dollhouse off Amazon. I hope all of you people were buying Alexa when you just listened to that or had that going out loud, because all across the country, Alexas and Amazon Echoes, Dots, and whatever tried to go out and buy dollhouses for people. So hearing it on the broadcast. So yeah, it's actually really sensitive. It's a lot of fun. We didn't get the Amazon Echo. We got the Dot. So it's just the brains of it. And then we got like a big JBL portable Bluetooth speaker, and it hooks up. We can take it from room to room, and so the JBL Pulse 2 has been...
Now you can stream from your Dot to the speaker.
Yeah,
can't you?
exactly.
So you can tell
So-
it to play music. And
Yeah, oh
it'll
yeah.
play it on the
It
speaker.
basically makes it so Alexa has to stay in one room, but we can carry that speaker around with us wherever, and just
Yeah.
talk to Alexa from wherever and turn up the volume and all
That's
that
pretty
good stuff.
cool.
So we've had a lot of fun with that. Next year, I think my gadget that I'm most looking forward to is that TV from CES. I know it's not going to be out, but
Oh,
Are you gonna buy
Are you
it?
going to buy an LG?
no
OLED?
way, no way.
It's a
I
gadget
just want-
you will actually buy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that I
it's
have
gotta
to
be something
buy?
You're going to buy.
Oh, then it's going to be smart lights. I'm gonna try and get smart lights in my house
Oh.
to try and hook those up.
Do you
to
know
the-
what ecosystem you're going to go with yet?
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the Wemo
Okay.
lights and switches. So they're a little spendy, but they look pretty cool.
How much are they a piece? Do you know?
They're like 120 for the switch. For like if you want to plug it into an existing switch, and then light bulbs are like 30 or 40 a piece.
Balls.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely light bulbs that you take with you if you
Yeah.
ever move.
And I think they're just the adapters. You still have to buy.
What?
Yeah, the like LED bulbs. These are adapters that screw into existing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love how light bulbs went from like 50 cents all the way up to like $30, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm really trying to cut down the energy usage with the solar and bank as much as I can, so I have no power bill over the next year.
Good luck, my friend. Good
Yeah.
luck.
So you must really hate power bills so much to go on this crusade.
I don't think it's power bills for Owen. I think it's grid dependency.
Yeah, and I want to run a saltwater fish tank, and they're super expensive.
So it's for the fish.
You're gonna.
It's for the fish, which I did that on purpose.
Jaron has a
Jaren's going through a personal
Tetra
crisis right now.
Is it a Tetra? Right?
It's a
a neon Tetra.
No, it's
a beta fish.
Beta. A beta fish at work, and he's decided that today it's dying.
Tonight's its last night,
well,
and I couldn't be more upset.
I might have said that wrong. He hasn't decided that it's dying, like he's going to kill it. He looked at it and thought, I think it's dying.
Well, he said it's sitting at the bottom of the tank, curled up against a rock, crying, I think he said.
Yeah, I poked it. Still isn't moving.
You know,
the only way it moves is if he actually tapped the glass really hard. I've given it food. It's just sitting there.
You know what we should do in solidarity tonight after we get done recording Gadget Spot? We should go eat sushi.
I was going to say fish and chips, but yeah, you were on the same page.
I can't eat either of them, so whatever.
You can't have sushi?
No, the soy sauce.
Well, you can get it without soy sauce.
Yeah, it's good
then it's disgusting.
Have you ever had it before?
Yes.
You had it?
Uh-huh.
You just put wasabi on it. It's great.
Yeah. No.
Just take the mean poops tomorrow and just
very
eat it.
few places do sushi without soy sauce.
No, they all have it on the table, but they
just
don't pour it over your...
No, they like the stuff inside the sushi.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, are we going out after we get done recording to go eat today?
It depends.
Yeah, we'll see.
Which means no, Dad.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'll come back from the store.
All right, let's hit up some CES
I'm so excited.
Stuff now that we've covered all of that goodness. I have a few short ones that I want to hit on.
Oh, we didn't cover all the goodness.
Kind of funny. What goodness did we miss?
Really?
Oh, our Patreon backers.
Yeah! Let me get it loaded up, and we're going to do this.
We got to thank our Patreon backers every episode because they're the bomb.
Do you want to explain to us what the Patreon is?
Patreon is your opportunity to donate to the cause of the show. Keep the lights on if you want to. Our Patreon website is patreon.com/Gadget Spot. Or is it the Gadget Spot?
It's just Gadget
Spot.
Just
Gadget Spot. Patreon.com/Gadget Spot. And if you feel like jumping on there and donating $1 or $2 each month to help us pay for the hosting fees and all that, then great. That'd be awesome. If you don't want to donate or can't, don't worry about it. That's good too. Just spread the Gadget Spot love to everyone you know, and we can get some more listeners that way and grow the podcast that way as well. So here's a thank you to our awesome Patreon backers this month, who are
AJ Jasper. Thank you very, very, very much.
He's our ultimate tech daddy right now.
Yeah, he is the one that is leading the charge. However, we very much appreciate Aaron Harris as well. He is also very much leading the charge. Adam Hecht, thank you so much, sir. Brian Lee, thank you. Valentine, or as some people like to call him, Ramon Valentine.
Everyone just calls him Valentine.
Very, very much. And Conrad Southworth, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, hey.
Thanks, keeping it going.
Thank you.
Yep. Once a month, we make extra content for our Patreon backers. I wasn't listening to what you said, so I'm going to go ahead and repeat it just in case you said it.
Oh, I forgot about the extra content.
We make extra content. This last month, it was the Doritos Challenge. This month is going to be the Mountain Dew Challenge. And trust me, you're going to want to get on top of this because watching Jaron
oh my gosh,
choke down a Mountain Dew just makes me believe that much more that he wouldn't last more than 2 days in prison.
It went up and then down.
Yep, and then kind of back up again.
And then out.
A little surprise.
Funny. Guys, I think I'm done. No, there's still a lot in there.
Morty, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do this.
All right, let's get on to some CES news because that's where Jaron and I were for 3 days last week.
Boo!
And these guys were so jealous that they've committed to going next year with us.
Yeah, I'm going next year.
Well, not just
to walk.
For the gadgets, but for the camaraderie that comes along with
bonding.
Yeah, the bonding.
And the male-on-male bonding.
And I think all of us should get 3DSs and then get Mario Kart so we can play in the car.
Yeah, I already have it.
For real?
Already done.
I have it.
Woo!
And doesn't it only take one person to have Mario Kart and then all of us has Mario Kart?
Uh-huh.
Why don't we just get Switches?
Shut up, Tony.
Okay, then let's all get
Switches.
I don't know if I'm going to do that.
Come on, Owen.
Yeah, I'm with Owen. Remember my Wii U debacle that I had early last year?
Yeah.
Well, you sold it and you banked that money for the Switch.
I'm not
Okay.
convinced the Switch is going to go
Hang on
anywhere.
a second. You don't have a 3DS right now, do you?
No.
Okay, so why would you buy a 3DS when you could get a Switch?
They're cheaper.
Way cheaper.
Who knows if they're
And-
cheaper? We don't know what the Switch
I like
price
it.
is.
Buy a
like
2DS
how-
for like $80.
I'm like the damsel in distress, and you two are like the two that come to my aid.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Tony,
Hey.
back off.
Am I the dragon?
Stop
You're-
it. Stop it,
He
Tony.
looks like a dragon. And his beard looks like he's always spewing fire.
Yeah, 3DS. A 3DS is great too because you can sideload it with any type of ROM that you happen to already own, and you can put on there.
Majora's Mask drops on the 3DS, I'm going to get one.
It's already out.
I'm getting one.
Been out forever.
It's been out for like a year.
Hold on, I'm going to Amazon right now.
Oh no!
Impulse
Majora's
buy.
Mask,
Here it is.
Ocarina of Time is on there.
Here it is. He's gonna buy one right now.
They have 2 other great Zelda games.
I
on
thought
there
you were
too.
just gonna sell your Xbox though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save you.
There's a
from having to
Nintendo
resell.
Pokemon 20th Anniversary Red and Blue Edition?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, Tony?
No, it's real. It's right there on your screen.
Yeah, look at that.
Let's talk about CES.
Okay, so we were down there for all 3 days. Well, I guess CES is actually 4 days.
4 days, yes.
We were down there for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we were there from. We usually got into the convention center by about 10:30, 11,
yeah.
and the convention center closes at 6 every day. So we were there almost as long as you can be each day, and because it opens at 10. It doesn't open till 10. It closes at 6, and we still didn't see everything.
It was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Enormous.
I never thought that I could hear the words come out of your mouth. Gadget fatigue.
I know, and neither did I until by the 3rd day, it got to the point where I was like, I don't really care about seeing any more Bluetooth speakers or headphones or RGB backlit keyboards or
Seriously, huge. And I've seen Tony without his pants on. It is bigger than that.
What is that? What? It's got weird.
Picture it didn't happen.
What happened there? What did you see? Bigger than Tony without his pants on?
He's making fun of my fatness.
Oh, I thought I was going somewhere else.
No.
I thought I was going somewhere else too, but
I was trying to take it to a better place.
Oh,
Anyway, so it is huge. It takes up every single hall of the Las Vegas Convention Center. It took up the entire Sands Expo Center in the Venetian, which is also a huge expo center.
Holy cow.
gigantic.
And then there were also tents set up in parking lots for things like the autonomous cars. And
right.
I mean, it was just stuff upon stuff upon stuff.
There was some really cool stuff, and about maybe 5% of it was really cool, and 95% of it you can completely ignore because it was like Bluetooth speakers.
I don't know if I'd go 95. I'd say there was 5% super awesome, 10% that was pretty cool, and then probably 85% of just meh.
But
Of
the
what you
super
saw.
awesome though
Is
it was
super awesome.
So the very last night we were there, we walk into like the innovator section.
This is what got rid of my gadget fatigue, and it was gone instantly when I saw this.
It's like I see it out of the corner of my eyes, like, is that a display? And then Tony just stops, and I look up to see what Tony's looking at.
I just point at it and I go, Jaron.
Freaking holograms.
And
It looked like Back to the Future to me.
It did. I mean,
Wow.
but better. Like, because Back to the Future holograms were still blocky.
Yeah.
These were perfectly round.
It
Yeah.
was insane. But
Yeah,
So-
the
it's
video
not-
we posted on the Facebook did not do it justice.
No.
Yeah, I mean, go check it out on our Facebook, the Gadget Spot. But it doesn't do it justice. But in
it's
real
not-
life, it's
not 3D, but it's like a 2D hologram.
but it's floating out there in space.
Yeah, it's floating in space. It looks sharp. It's bright, and it was just jaw dropping. However, when you figured out how it worked, it kind of took some magic away.
a little bit,
But it was still awesome.
still very cool. So it basically is like a, you know, those LED spinners that you can put messages on. You spin them and the LED flashes in a certain way so that as it's rotating, it creates words.
Oh, I saw those.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
make
yeah.
Pikachu
Okay.
dance.
Yeah, so
Speaking of Nintendo.
so this one instead put the LEDs on the going up from the center spokes of the blades. They put the LEDs on there themselves and spun it like a propeller.
It was like it's a high resolution display though.
And it's a high resolution display that it spins and then uses the LEDs to create a picture. And they put about 8 or 9 of them all by each other, and then they could have them either project separately or all in one. And so you get this effect that is now the video I posted. Each one is projecting its own separate image, but they had other videos, other demos they would do where it would use the entire array of devices and just create these really neat holograms.
And the video didn't do it justice because the video is capped at 30 frames per second, but the fans are spinning a lot quicker than that.
Yeah.
But
You'll see it in the future. I mean,
Yeah.
this booth was never not surrounded by a huge crowd of people.
yeah, it was just so many people crowding it, and
You're going to see this. You're going to see this on. I'm sure you're going to see this on the Las Vegas Strip within the next few years. You're going to see it in. I'm sure you'll see it in Times Square for advertising.
Spinning blades though.
So they're going to have to work out.
Yeah.
Make it so that nobody can touch them.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, and make it so birds can't fly into
and
it.
so that birds don't fly into it. But I mean, barring any issues with that, it's just really cool.
I gotta not look at Nintendo 3DSs because
You about to buy one?
well, how much do you think the Switch is going to be when it comes out?
$250.
Oh.
It's only $50 more.
Well, I was gonna say I'm looking at the Nintendo 3DS right now, and it's like $284.
Oh, so those are resellers. Normally, the new 3DS goes for $199.
Where do you find these deals at?
Well, that's the normal price. Right now, they're still sold out everywhere. So these are resellers, like I just said.
Where do you find these deals? That's retail price, Tony.
Amazon.com.
But there was one other technology that blew my mind, and it's haptic feedback.
The touchscreen haptic feedback.
Yeah. What was the company? It started with a T. Tanvis, I think it was.
Tekken.
I have the
T-Notion.
I think it's Tanvis.
Tanner.
But anyway, it's tech that you put into like a smartphone or a tablet, but it's haptic feedback, and it is just the amount of variation that it can achieve is mind-blowing. So the demo that was there, you could unzip a zipper, and it felt like you were unzipping a zipper with your finger.
I mean, to a point.
Yeah, it's like Uncanny Valley.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like 90% the way there, but like 10% is like, oh, that's kind of
Right.
weird,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
Tanvis. I found
Yeah.
the handle.
Their
Canvas.
website's pretty cool. It's got the picture of that
TAN.
zipper going up and down.
TANVAS.
And then like you drag your finger on a path, you're going over rocks and it's just slippery. You go onto sand, it's like it feels gritty. You go onto like another surface and it changes the feel there. But what was really cool, it had like a water simulation, so you're dragging your fingers through water, and it doesn't feel like water, but it does feel like.
But it feels like something.
Yeah, it feels like the sensation of water.
Now,
you know?
question, because we were talking a little while ago about how much you don't like playing games on your phone because you don't have the perforated buttons on your phone. Now, with this kind of touch haptic feedback, do you feel like you would get that?
It would definitely help as far as simulating a D-pad.
Exactly.
Now, as far as your A/B buttons, not so much because you're still just relying on remembering where the button is on the screen.
Well, I mean, developers can get around that. I mean, the buttons don't have to be specifically right there. I mean, a B button could be wherever you're pressing, and then you go to the right a little bit, and that could simulate an A
don't
button.
you kind of do that with an Xbox controller? You don't look down at your controller every time you press a button.
But the buttons are raised, like you can feel it.
The buttons are raised and you can
But
feel
they
it.
could do the haptic feedback to almost make it feel like a button. Like if they can make it feel like sand.
Or you can rest your thumb on the button and not press it.
It's definitely got possibilities, but yeah, Owen kind of hit it on the head there. You don't have to push the button when you're touching it, whereas with a touchscine, if you're touching it, it's pushing it.
Unless it's like
Unless you have the 3D,
iPhone 7.
3D touch.
Yeah, that has 3D touch.
Yeah.
That's still kind of...
What's interesting about this haptic feedback, though, unlike the iPhone, where if you click something, the whole screen vibrates, this is localized to where you're pressing.
Only to your finger.
Only to your finger.
That's cool.
It's really neat.
And it's not using vibration; it's using electrostatic. And so,
See, he started to explain that to us, and it went right over my head.
but he's using electrostatic to change the actual friction on the screen.
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing.
Like it goes
So
into
the screen changes texture?
Yeah.
It goes
Really?
it goes
Yes.
into like some crazy physics.
What's the screen made of?
Glass.
Apparently
Crazy.
magic.
Weird.
I think there's a little wizard inside that just makes that screen sticky at parts for you.
That's cool.
I'm a wizard.
But there was like corduroy you could fill, and you could fill each individual line.
Really?
Yeah.
See, so
it's
if you have that,
really
I have
weird.
no doubt that he can make a pad that feels like buttons.
And
I'm sure they could figure it out.
I asked him too. I said, "Does this add any thickness to the devices?" Because the devices he was demoing on were tablets, and they were about a quarter of an inch or more thick, close to half an inch thick. But those were just the display units that he was using. He told me, he said, it will not add thickness to devices.
How is that possible?
So is it
It's
software?
software then?
Well,
It's got to have something to change
I'm
electrostatic.
sure that there's some device in there, but apparently it's thin enough that it won't add any appreciable difference to the thickness.
It's really cool tech.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was really neat. Okay, one other thing that I saw. This will be a quick one. It was they called it an infinite USB stick, and the product is called Moore, Moore.
Does it use the cloud?
Yeah,
like Tyler
Yeah.
Moore.
So that was what I said at first. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, infinite because it uses the cloud. But
Just use my cell phone.
what makes this unique is the algorithms and software they've written that uses machine learning to basically judge what files you're going to need versus what ones you don't need as often. And so the stick itself is a 64 gigabyte stick. And then when you plug it in, if you have an internet connection, you obviously have access to anything that you've saved to it. If you don't have an internet connection, he's claiming that the machine learning and the software they've developed is good enough that you should have everything on there that you're going to need based on predictive algorithms.
Yeah, but see, as a person who works with video files and I need access to the video files, I highly doubt that it could understand.
I don't think that'd work for
video, no, because
videographers.
they're so big.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to wait for them to download from their,
Yeah.
but for people that just need it for things like documents, JPEGs,
Yeah. I
things
could see
like that, it might be good.
So, who hosts the storage? They do?
they host the storage.
Okay, so they don't link to like Dropbox or anything, like your own Dropbox.
Yeah, and I think that I can't remember what he said. They're projecting their price to be. It wasn't bad. I think it was like $40 a year or something like that.
Yeah, I always
unlimited usage.
I always have a bad taste in my mouth though when startups are essential to, like the startups actually being in business are essential to the product itself.
It's sad that that's where we're at as far as the market.
I can see that.
Yeah, the service.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, it was interesting. I've seen cloud storage before claiming unlimited, blah blah blah. But this was the first time where they actually trotted out something that had specific software and used machine learning to try and predict what files you're going to need access to on a regular basis. So kind of cool.
That's cool.
Moore. More. Okay, let's take a quick CES break. And what was one of the things that you wanted to talk about, James?
Oh man, I got so many things I want to talk about right now.
Okay, choose one.
Oh. All right, let's talk about the Playboy article that I found.
Which is kind of clickbaity in and of itself.
I thought
since
I was like, what is this?
You call it a Playboy article. It's an article that's about technology
and by
that
the
you
way,
found on Playboy.
Don't go to this site if you're at work. If you're looking through our show notes,
obviously,
because like look at that right there. You
Yeah.
can already there's underboob. So it's talking about an accessory that just barely came out this last year, and it is a device that you plug into the side of your brand spanking new MacBook Pro or MacBook, and it gives you back all the ports that you lost. As far as for what I can see from the picture, it gives you back the HDMI, SD. It looks like even like a micro SD card slot, normal. What is that? USB 3.
Yeah, regular USB Type A.
And it's amazing. Like, how much is it selling for? It's on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter.
It's a Kickstarter.
My recommendation would be just to skip this generation of MacBook Pros.
Don't get the MacBook Pro.
It's already at $1,355,711.
Those people didn't skip this generation
They
of
did
MacBook
not.
Pro.
None of those people did. They're like, I need my ports back.
And so it looks like right now, if you pledge $69 or more, you can get one hyperdrive.
Woo!
So,
Interesting. My question.
Go buy an old MacBook.
My one question is, does it show the plug on that? Does it plug into both ports? Because it covers both ports on one side of the MacBook Pro.
let me find out really quick.
Got some images right here. Yeah, let's just take
Does it
a
have-
quick look.
Does it have two?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so it has two. So that's kind of neat that they utilize both, so you get double the bandwidth.
Yeah, it gives
versus
you
one dongle.
the fastest 50 gigabyte per second Thunderbolt 3 USB-C hub for MacBook Pro. Adds HDMI, USB 3.1. There's 2 ports for those. Micro SD and SD card slots, and a Thunderbolt 3 with
Dude,
USB-C.
I'm just gonna get that for my phone.
Just plug that
Just
right in
plug
there.
that right in the bottom of my Nexus. It's just USB-C, right?
You'll have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed in this last generation with Mac. To be honest,
As
I'm not very
is
happy
everyone.
that they did that. I understand like the forward thinking, and there has to be somebody that moves forward.
The courage.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
courage. They're
Yeah.
They're brave.
Well, someone has to do it.
But speaking
You
of
just
Apple,
don't have to be the one to buy it.
rumor has it that in the next iOS update, they're going to be doing theater mode for...
Yeah, so is it just going to make the screen dimmer?
Well, from what I read in the article this last week, honestly, I have no idea.
Because I think
Is
that's...
That's supposed to make it so you can use your phone unobtrusively in the theater?
Yeah.
I think so. I wish they wouldn't call it theater mode. I mean,
Sounds awful.
I love having the option to have this mode because I like to make my screen as dim as possible right before I go to bed.
Sure.
So having it would be nice, but I don't think they should be encouraging people to use it in the theater.
Thank you.
Yeah, because as of right now, the default as you walk into the theater is you hit airplane mode, which turns everything off.
Or just silent. You don't have to do the airplane.
Or
Just
silent.
Silent it. No
For those of us
vibration.
with work that has to answer calls, it has to be silent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to answer phones
You don't.
if I don't want to. So that's fun.
That must be nice.
That's another Apple update. And, yeah. So,
Cool.
So now to my true love, Sony.
Oh.
So Sony's booth was really cool.
are we going back to CES?
Yeah, we're going back. That was a quick non-CES break. We're going back
Oh,
to CES.
dang it. I wanted
Yeah.
to... Okay.
We'll have another non-CES. Don't worry.
And Sony didn't really have too many new products to announce.
I mean, their booth was okay.
Their booth was cool because they had such a big variety of gadgets, and I just liked trying out their gadgets.
It was okay.
Anyway, they have a new OLED TV. LG finally has some competition in that.
Yep.
They look cool, but the thing that really impressed me in Sony's booth, I don't know what they call it, but they're tile displays.
Yeah, so it was like a commercial tile display.
Yeah. So normally, an outside display, it'd be LEDs, and the resolution would be really, really bad because you're viewing it from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
But these tile displays, it comes like in these square tiles, and you can make it as big or as small as you want.
They're about 2 foot by 2 foot.
Yeah, but they are sharp and they look great.
They look great.
Yeah,
And they go together so closely that you can't see any gap, and there's no bezel.
Was
so
this that
basically,
tube that you guys were in?
No,
No,
that was
okay.
LG. That was
Okay.
different.
That was a cool tube.
Yeah, it was.
actually, they're calling it Cletus, which is a terrible name.
Cletus?
Cletus. Crystal LED integrated structure.
Oh. Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel.
Marries his cousin along with his mother who had his brother.
What?
I don't know. I was just spitballing.
Oh, jeez.
I'm good at redneck rap.
Wow.
Ricka.
It was good.
So the demonstration they had on it was probably 30 feet by 15 feet, roughly, maybe bigger. But when I saw it, it was the first thing I thought basically was, other than commercial advertising, that could be the future of theaters, if you ask
Right.
me.
And
Cinema.
it's bright. It's
And they
1,000 nits of brightness.
It was
Yeah, they said
bright.
it was 8K by 2K resolution.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
And it has 10-bit color depth, so the colors were great.
And like I said, we were within, 10 feet of it, and it looked seamless. It looked like one giant panel.
That's cool.
So if someone sitting back in a movie theater it would look even better.
oh, yeah.
And it has a frame rate of up to 120 frames per second, so there's really nothing you can't do with this display.
Yeah.
It's great. So like those big displays in like sports arenas, it could be this and it'd look great.
Well-
It's going to revolutionize all the signs in Vegas, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing that you couldn't be able to do that you can do with projectors right now would be the 3D. Because with 3D, they usually use two projectors.
Right.
So
Oh,
they
right.
overlay slightly.
Yep.
So with your glasses, it makes a 3D image. So I don't know how they would do that with these panels, but
Well,
all in all, I was
just the same way they do 3D TVs. They actually, the 3D
Yeah.
3D movies are just shot, one's with the lines vertical and one's with the lines horizontal.
Right.
So as long as you're wearing the eyewear.
You could do it with, but that also halves the resolution.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
So
yeah.
it would be half as sharp. But
4K by 1K.
the other thing I liked at Sony's booth, Jaron, were those headphones that they demoed inside the simulated airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Those were pretty cool. Do you remember what they were called?
I don't, but they were noise-canceling headphones, and if you tapped the right ear cup...
If you held your fingers, like 3 fingers up to the right ear cup, the microphones would turn on and allow ambient noise in so you could communicate with people.
Oh, that's cool.
So you have your hand up to the side of your head, talking to someone that you need to, and then when you're done, you move your hand, and it goes back into noise canceling again instantly.
What I liked about Sony's booth was it was so huge. It didn't feel nearly as packed as everyone else's.
True.
And they had just a great variety of gadgets. Like LG pretty much felt like all TVs to me.
I don't know. If you were to compare the size of the LG booth, the Sony booth, and the Samsung booth, they were probably the same size, but Sony's was just a lot less crowded.
I think Sony's was bigger. LG's was pretty small. Samsung's was big, but LG's was pretty small.
Hey, Owen, let's argue size about something. How do you feel about the bag of Dorito chips that you usually get? Do you feel like you get a lot of Doritos? Do you feel like you not get a lot of Doritos?
No, mostly air, dude.
Point
Really?
taken, you a-hole.
Oh, all right.
Mostly air.
Gosh dang it. We also looked at the e-ink watch that they had. Remember that?
Yeah.
Kind of a cool concept, but
It felt really, really light.
it felt chintzy. Like
Therefore, kind of cheap.
it felt cheap. I'm sure it's not cheap. I'm sure it's very expensive. But I picked it up and held it, and it felt like the old crappy LCD watches you used to get like as pack-ins with McDonald's.
Like a Happy
Yeah.
Meal toy,
Happy
right?
Meal.
But the whole thing is an e-ink display, even the strap.
Yeah. We also tried out the most high-end headphones I've ever used in my entire life.
How were they?
You know,
I could not tell the
I
difference.
couldn't tell that much of a difference, honestly.
It was a high-end headphone paired with a high-end DAC.
amplifier. Yeah.
Paired with the most expensive Walkman, which was like 2 pounds, even though it was like really small.
It was hefty.
It was heavy.
So how much did the whole setup cost?
Around $8,000 to $9,000.
And you couldn't tell a difference?
I couldn't.
I honestly couldn't tell a difference.
I'm no audiophile, though.
I'm not either. But I think honestly, to me, like for my ears, once headphones get to a certain quality, anything above that, I can't notice a difference.
Well, we did the
that's what I
test.
said last week.
We did the test last time, right? Where we can't hear anything. Where you can't hear. Where we can't hear anything over a certain
frequencies.
I got old man hearing anyway, so if it just needs more bass, then I can feel it.
It was crazy though. I couldn't believe how expensive those pieces were. The headphones themselves were like $2,600. The DAC was $2,400, I think.
What was it called? Do you remember the brand name?
Whoa, Sony.
Sony.
Maybe this
But
is
I
about
can't
being
remember
impulse buy.
the name. Yeah, there you go. The Walkman itself, though, the Walkman by itself was like $6,600
What?
for the digital media player, the Walkman.
Should I be smelling taco meat?
The window's open, so no.
That worries me.
I don't know.
Nothing
smell
to worry
toast?
about.
So
You're gonna get the flu now.
Is it Six Moons ATHW 5000?
I don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you because, to tell you the truth, once I found the price out, my brain sort of checked out. When I found out how much,
Never
it cost,
gonna have these.
Yeah, I was like, oh, don't care.
Let's just fall off the truck into my house.
I want to get so rich that someday, two things. Anything that's over $1,000, I don't just turn off. You know,
Yeah,
just like
don't stop paying attention.
Yeah. And then two, where I never have to take a photo of myself on an airplane.
What do you mean take a photo of yourself on an
Because
airplane?
it's so cool when I fly.
Oh, becomes commonplace to
Yeah.
you.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
whatever.
Gotcha.
I don't need this.
Oh
go.
yeah.
So, yeah, that was the Sony booth. That smell is definitely coming from outside. Anyway, listeners, you can't smell that.
Hey, who's cooking meat?
The neighbors are cooking tacos downstairs.
I wouldn't mind some
there
tacos.
anything else?
Wafting
Oh,
up.
Jaron loved one of the cameras there.
Oh, the A6500. It's been out for a while, but it's a nice camera. I want to buy it. It's $1,500 though, so I don't think it's
Woof.
going to happen.
Wait, which one is it?
The Sony A6500. It's their mirrorless camera. It's not the full frame version. It's the APS-C sensor, but it's a nice camera. They
That's
had
not the most expensive camera. That's not bad.
yeah. They had a flowy dance lady
Oh, yeah, she was
turning around
she
to like
was doing,
demo at the speed of the shutter.
She had kind of a flowy dress, and she was doing that ribbon thing that's in the
Yeah.
Olympics with the long ribbons and the flashy.
Was the adult entertainment
Ribbon
expo
thing.
going on at the same time?
I don't know. We didn't see anything that even referenced that anywhere.
Oh,
around
for real?
town.
I looked it up,
Go on.
and they got in the front door to CES this year. Actually,
What do you mean?
the adult industry had a VR booth for adult entertainment VR.
Really?
I didn't see it.
No,
I
I
didn't see that
try.
either.
I sent you guys a message to go find it, but they're probably in the article. They're like in a back area of the expo center,
In the CD alley.
with no, basically no
Are you going to be
booths.
my buddy next year when we go
I will stand
For-
out. I will stand
for
outside and be like,
technical reasons.
there they are.
For technical reasons, do you want to come with me?
For science,
James,
Yeah,
you
for
can demo
science.
that for the podcast.
I'll do it. I don't care.
but yeah,
For
they had
science!
they had the booths there, and they were marked by a little red square. You had to know what you were looking for, but yeah, it was basically a virtual strip
It was
club.
marked by a little red square.
Like the booths were closed. Like you had to go
Oh,
in. Yeah, it was like
really?
because they.
Well, that's another thing we found out right near the end of the last day we were there is not only you have the open floor of the expo center, they have all of these meeting rooms in a different part of the convention center and the what were we at? Not the Venetian. Yeah, the Venetian, right?
Venetian.
oh, the
Yeah.
question that I asked earlier,
And so
where you're just south of the strip. So in the Venetian is where you're at.
no, that was a far up like on the north part of the strip.
Oh,
They're two different buildings far away from each other.
oh,
Yeah. So anyway, some of the companies just had stuff in there, and you had to wander up there off the convention floor and walk in and check out their stuff.
So next time,
So that's probably how they had that.
buckets
set up.
buckets of business cards to give away.
That's
Well,
right.
I think you can
And,
order them by like 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So each one of us will go to 1,000 for like $20, and then
See?
just dump them.
It's easy.
Just all into one.
Just dump them.
Put and be like,
I will win this.
I will win this one thing. I'm putting all of my chips. I'm putting all of my chips into this penny slot.
I'll create better cards for you guys this next time.
But
the
yeah,
cards
it's-
that I created were kind of lame.
Or
But,
we could stand outside the convention center and do this with our cards.
Yeah, free.
Try to
free,
hand them out.
Free.
Free,
Can they
free.
can they talk to you? Free. Free.
They can talk to you. They just can't touch you.
Yeah.
It used to be they could
my,
like shove them in your hand.
my experience with that is seeing down in Vegas is seeing a street performer like doing some black magic on the sidewalk. He wasn't supposed to be doing
Black magic.
I don't know what it was. He was like doing cups and like impressing people, and like
Yeah.
people are getting to choose what cup it was. And anyway,
Those-
they had a little spotter. I think it was a kid.
Those are called grifters.
Yeah, he was a grifter. Thank you. That's a very
I
good
lost
term.
$100 on that.
So
Go ahead.
there were some grifters, and all of a sudden this kid that just was like clapping in the crowd, just like, oh, this is the greatest thing, just revving up the crowd. All of a sudden he goes, "Hurp, hurp, hurp." I don't know what he said, but he screams out something, and the guy on the ground, the guy doing everything, scoops up his cups like he's been shot. Okay, I don't know if he scooped it like shot, but because he'd probably fall down. Anyway, not the point. He scooped him up like he was in a lot of trouble,
Like he was
and
shot.
and he ran off. And he ran off. It was like
They disappeared into the night.
gone. Into
Yeah,
the cra-
speaking of those
into the
stupid
crowd.
drifters, so I'm sitting
No,
there.
no.
Grifter.
Grifters.
Yeah,
A
drifters.
drifter is different.
They probably
Fast and Furious.
You know they
They're
can
still-
they can be both.
They stole
I guess,
$100
yeah.
from me. I can call them whatever the heck I want to call them. So these drifters, I'm sitting there and I'm a fresh-faced 21-year-old, fresh off my mission.
You're still
We-
fresh-faced.
Grift.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
And we
It was
headed,
a compliment. You look young.
we headed down to Vegas for a guys trip. Like we all got home off our missions, whatever. And I took $300 with me, which was supposed to last me 3 days down there. Anywho, so we're walking down the strip, and then I noticed one of those guys with the 3 cards, and they're doing the like 3-card shuffle thing.
3-card Monty.
Right? And so they had
I don't know if that's what it's called.
a Hispanic lady in the audience that was like betting, and you could see her winning, and then, you know,
Oh,
she'd
yeah.
bet, and then
Was
would
she the
lose.
plant?
She was the plant.
Yeah.
And then there was another. And so there was another like
want that
fat
job.
white guy that, you know, played, and then he lost. He's like, gosh dang it. And then he like walks off, and, you know, and I noticed that the card that they were using to, you know, the winning card, it had a corner flipped up. Mm-hmm. And I'm
course
like, oh,
it did.
I got this. And the buy-in was $100.
I figured this out.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm
hard
like,
can this be?
obviously I'm smarter than these guys. They work on the street and I work in a cubicle. And so I threw my money down, and I'll tell you what, there is no worse feeling than flipping that card over and have it not be the right card and realizing how
Take
stupid
this,
you
sucker!
are.
Oh,
I experienced this when I was 9 playing Pogs against my brother's friend. I lost all my Pogs. I started crying.
You lost all of your pogs
I lost them all.
at once?
Yes.
Did he give any back?
I think after I was crying to my mom, yes.
You guys consistently make me happy that I didn't have brothers growing up. Like all growing up, all that I wanted was like an older brother, older sister, and now I realize, man, you
man.
had it.
Dude.
Older brothers torment.
overrated.
That's our job.
I'm both. So
Older
I-
and younger?
Yeah, I have one above and below.
Oh.
Me.
So you're the middleman.
I am. I was the ringleader. I was
No.
You convinced
Oh
the
yeah.
older one. That
I had
they
the
should do
older
stuff?
muscle, and I had the younger idiot.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I
Not
was a
idiot.
jerk to my older brothers.
My brothers
and
aren't
I feel
idiots.
bad.
My brothers aren't idiots.
Mom, I lost all my pogs fair and square. I'm so mad.
I was an only child, so when I talked, it was to myself. Hey, James, you look awesome today. I know, high five.
You're so alone.
Yeah, I'm sad and dead.
So one of the other things I saw at CES, it was really neat. They had a small booth, and their product has actually been featured on Linus Tech Tips on YouTube.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was
My third favorite peanut.
a fanless, liquidless cooling solution for PCs.
Whoa.
No fans,
I thought-
no liquid cooling.
I thought
What
this
does
was
it do?
fake until Tony said the price. I'm like, oh yeah, probably.
What kind of material does it use
so
to draw
it
heat off?
uses all
Graphene,
heat
right?
pipe cooling solutions,
Oh,
a
okay.
heat pipe loop. So it uses these huge radiators
Right.
on the back of the case, and they've got heat pipes that go from your GPU and your CPU and everything out to these heat pipes, and it just draws the
No
heat
fan.
out passively.
Wow.
Yeah,
But
so
the case has to have a fan. I mean, you still got
no fans.
Really?
No fans.
What?
So it is a dead silent computer.
Wow.
And they were running 3D Mark benchmarks on it back to back to show people what it looks like under load
Did you
temperature
get to
wise.
touch the? Did you?
I touched the radiator.
Was it hot?
No,
Really?
I mean, it was warm.
Right.
It was warm to the
Yeah.
touch, but it
Did
was
you
not
ask the
hot.
radiators if it was okay being touched?
I asked the person who owns the radiator.
So it doubles as like it can double as like a space heater for
yeah,
your
a
for
little
your office
heater
as
for
well.
your room. So under load, that GPU was running at 47 or 43. It was in the mid 40s Celsius under load, which that's better than your stock coolers on expensive
Wow.
air cooled GPUs. Better than mine. Don't touch that.
I've gotten him to almost say that every episode, by the way.
Anyway, I was blown away, and they showed 3 different models. They showed their prototype model, the one they had on Linus Tech Tips, and then they showed 2 other models that they're working on more for actual sale, close to a final product. And they were all just it was amazing to see that level of cooling with no fan and
That's crazy.
no liquid. So anyway, I nerded out over that for a little bit.
Yeah, I'd still like to see them like try and really overclock and push a system for that, like without liquid cooling. Because some of these,
I don't think
some
that
of these
it would be a problem.
overclockers are using like liquid
Well,
nitrogen to cool
obviously, you're not going to run the CPU at
Supercomputer.
7
Come on.
gigahertz
Come on.
on one, on the passive cooling. But either way,
Still
and
pretty
I
cool.
asked too. I was like, "Can you do double GPUs and a CPU and all that?" And like, yeah.
You have to buy the case, or
So-
are you
so
going to be able to
they're-
retrofit this onto your existing?
They're custom building cases, and
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're gonna. I can't remember for sure what she said, if it was something you could retrofit on a case you already have.
Right.
I think you'll be able to do it with certain cases, not any case, but certain cases. And
I wonder who they partnered with.
what did I say the price was per loop?
I don't remember. It was like $1,000, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Holy
it
cow.
was expensive,
Right.
And I think it was $600
Per loop?
per loop. So $600 to cool one GPU, $600 to cool another GPU, $600 to cool the CPU, kind of a thing.
Hey, breaking news.
Dun 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 dun.
Yahoo's gone forever.
Wait, what?
It's dead. Marissa Mayer is resigning. They're changing its name to Altaba, and they're being sold to Verizon.
Really?
Wow.
Yep.
What about my Yahoo
You heard
account?
it first. Bum, 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 bum.
I sent this out on Twitter about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, but I'm breaking up with Yahoo. I've had it since high school, and we're gonna
You've
we're-
had enough.
Yeah, we're
Had
gonna
your
part.
fill?
We're gonna part ways.
Those
It's
high
been-
school girlfriends just don't always work out.
Yeah, I thought it's one thing that's lasted in my life. So
How do you like this Xbox One controller, the Elite controller?
We'll get to that.
Oh, were you really going to talk about this?
Not this episode.
Oh,
I have
But
thoughts on
yeah.
it too.
So we'll get to that as well. I mean, that came out like a year ago, so it's not like it's timely to review
no,
it anyway.
no.
So
I was just wondering.
anyway, that was really neat. The fanless, liquid-free, passive cooling. Another thing that I saw that was really neat, in a completely unrelated topic, there was tons and tons of in-ear AirPod style, like
Yes.
no wires.
That's the new
So
thing.
many of them.
Tons
a
and
lot
tons.
of cheapy, crappy ones. Some real companies putting out some
quality
quality
stuff.
ones. Yep.
This one we found in the Eureka Park section, so the newer stuff that hasn't been funded yet or anything like that.
These are
hasn't come to market.
prototypes then?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I saw the prototypes, but they're going to be on Indiegogo very soon. So usually I would say boo to Indiegogo,
Yeah, exactly.
but I handled the prototypes myself.
Okay.
So
So why don't they just go to Kickstarter that's more legitimate?
I think I wouldn't be too surprised if Indiegogo might be backing them themselves.
I see.
You know, kind of one
Right.
of those. We'll give you a better cut. Kind of.
I
I don't
see.
know for sure. I don't know for sure.
Right.
But what makes these so cool is, first of all, the battery life on them. The guy was telling us with the battery tech, they were using 6 hours of usage per charge.
What are the AirPods at? What do they hit?
5.
Oh, okay.
And the AirPods right now are easily the industry leader on battery life for those. Most of them clocking at about 3
Yeah,
hours.
is that what the
3.5 or
is that what the
4.
braggies do?
But realistically speaking, how long do you listen to music
Yeah.
for?
Right.
In one
So that's the
sitting?
thing. And then it'll have a case as well that provides additional charges.
That's cool.
Oh.
So
Nice.
that was really neat. But the other thing, too, is not only do they want these for just listening to music and things like that, they also want these to be,
A personal assistant?
Dang
it.
live voice translation,
Oh,
Hey,
so
I
personal
talked about
assistant.
these.
It's like a Babelfish.
like a Babelfish.
Yeah.
Hey, remember we talked about these before? They were on Kickstarter and I got mocked.
Was it these ones? I don't
No,
know,
it wasn't those
these
ones. But they're the auto translators. I think
Yeah.
they're probably pairing with that company software.
So they might be.
yeah,
At
And can-
launch, they wanted to have 37 languages.
that's cool.
Well, and can I tell you how awesome it would be to have something like that? Because I know that you can whip out your phone.
Universal
and do-
translator.
Yeah, a universal translator. When I went to Europe, one of the main things that kind of ate at me was, so we went to London. Obviously, everybody speaks English there. Well, not everybody, but you know. And then we went to Paris, and what my wife and I want to do is rent a car and just drive, just go somewhere.
Yeah.
And if we would have had something like this that could translate almost in real time, which I'm assuming that there's going
There
to
is
be
a delay.
a bit of a delay.
Yeah.
But it would be amazing to just go to like a very, outskirts. I mean, just go somewhere.
Yeah,
Like real, not touristy at all.
No,
Go to like
yeah.
the real deal
We-
of the country.
Yeah.
It's a one-way translation, though. I mean,
So you
they
can
speak to
understand
you,
them, but they
then
would have to
they're-
have a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
we
hear.
went to
come-
Italy a few years ago. We went to like the country, and we stayed at a guy's farmhouse pretty much. And this guy, he was like between 70, 80 years old. And just trying to talk to him was so difficult. And
Oh,
just
sure.
being able to understand him with this would have been like crazy.
Well, can you-
Crazy good.
for something like this, if you're a big traveler, I would buy 2 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
know,
could hand
one for
them to the
you and
people?
one for them.
That'd be
and then they
interesting.
just pop it in, and
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the three things they're trying to hit on as good as they can is, first they want the most pristine audio quality in earbuds. So we'll see how that goes. And then the also multifunction to control voice, text, and sound. So
a personal assistant.
yeah, kind of a personal assistant style. And then the Babelfish style,
That's cool.
37 language translation live.
That's their priority.
yeah.
order.
Those. I don't know if that's the order, but that's the three main ones they hit on their
So
their handout.
the Braggy headphone, they get 6 hours of battery life, but it doesn't include any of the smarts of this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no translation.
that battery life is interesting.
I'm surprised not more companies focus on the translation. I mean, there's so many languages out there, and I feel like our generation is definitely a more of an up and go type generation. The generation that would be the
Internationally connected.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people who want to travel more, people who want to interact with more people, and the people who would buy these kind of gadgets. I don't see the older demographic
Right.
dropping the money for something like this. But I mean, if you were to say, hey, this is $399. If you're going to go to Europe, I mean, it'd be a great buy. It's almost like something you'd buy at the airport is like a
Right.
staple.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's a great idea.
I'm really excited. I'm gonna follow this one because this was one of the things that, at least in theory, wowed me the most
That's cool.
at CES this year. Jaron, was there any other CES stuff you wanted to hit on?
CES.
I want to talk about Project Valerie and Project Ariana.
Oh yeah. We
Hey, I got stuff.
We got
I
to
got
hit on
stuff.
those too.
Okay.
for sure.
Two things. One of them, we saw a 4K and an 8K VR headset.
Oh,
Now, how was the peripheral when you guys?
So for
used
the
it?
8K headset, the peripheral was amazing.
that was
Now,
the thing is,
is everything in focus?
How does
in
it
your
compare?
peripheral?
How does
Yeah.
it compare
It
to the
dis-
Void that James didn't get
it
to go to?
destroys it.
It is like
I mean,
it was a tiny booth. It felt like such a janky company, and we're like, these look like weird headsets. Let's give them a try, sure. But it blew me away. Like the resolution of these it didn't have a screen door effect. It still looked like there was you were wearing glasses and they were kind of oily and there's like a filter on the lenses. It still looked like that, but there was no screen door effect. You couldn't really see any pixels.
It was 4K per eye.
Really?
Yep, and
That's way more than I would need.
And not only was it crisp, but you didn't notice the binocular effect either.
yeah, like
The what's the word?
peripheral.
Yeah, the peripheral was wide enough that you just didn't really
If
notice
you
it.
if you looked for the black bars on either side, you could see them.
you'd see
but
them.
if you weren't looking, like I didn't really even notice the peripheral.
Well, it's kinda
until
like
I
when-
realized, hey, there's really no peripheral.
It's kind of
gonna
like when you're watching a movie, right? Like you kind of tune out everything that's black around it.
Right.
Yeah.
They already have screens that can bend. When are they going to get the VRs that wrap all the way around?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I want.
That would be awesome, though.
You know, like
Yeah.
they've got bendable.
Or that track your eyes kind of thing.
Right.
The company is called PiMax, PiMax.
I love pies. Is it by Village Inn?
No.
This is probably like the number, I think.
They say they'll be on Kickstarter soon. So we
I
actually
actually-
used a working prototype, so you might want to keep your eyes open for that.
I liked it enough that Pi platform uses Steam VR, so anything you can play on Steam VR, you should be able to play on these.
In 4K
What we should
in each
do
eye.
is
So, I mean, it was cool enough that I'm going to keep an eye on this, and if it's financially feasible, maybe back it. I don't know for sure, but
yeah, but you remember what you said about all hardware on Kickstarter, how you're not going to do it anymore?
but I've actually touched this one. Like,
yeah, but a lot of things have touched your heart too. And
you raise a valid point.
I raised a valid point.
You're using Tony against Tony.
I know.
That's
This
a good
is my
move.
job.
That was a good move.
I'm reigning in that black cloud, and I'm finding his parade.
My concern with this, though, is having a computer that can drive that kind of resolution.
That's
Well,
another
he's
good
got one.
question.
Yeah, even that.
Even that.
You got dual 1080s.
I know, but think of running 8K. 11080 can run 4K at 60 frames per second on a lot of games. You have to turn down some of the settings, though. Very, very few. I think there's only one game out there you can do 4K 60 and with max settings, and that's Doom. And even then, it's questionable. But the thing is you need to have 4K resolution, and you need to be pushing like 90 frames per second.
Well, then
so
just
you
play
don't get
like
sick.
Stardew Valley or like some like
Yeah,
Terraria.
that sounds
or,
worth it.
Or Minecraft.
Blech.
Why not?
Blech.
You seem like a creative chap.
Oh, that is a lie.
What did they run it on?
I don't know how to make anything.
What did they make it on? What did they run it on for the demo? Was it like wire connected, cord connected, right?
To the
you-
computer, yeah.
right.
Did you feel like it was like a Matrix type big old cord hanging down your back?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't any more than
Was
any
that
other
the
VR.
seat you sat in for the?
No, that was
that's something different.
That was something different.
Okay.
That picture's awful.
Yeah,
I
but the
look like-
experience is awesome.
I look like Jabba the Hutt.
You
don't
look
know
like
about that.
somebody from Wall-E.
Oh, wow! That is mean.
Oh, sorry.
Jabba the Hutt at least had.
That's something I
at
would
least had
say.
cult
That's
classic.
so great. High five.
I got called Wally Fat.
No, not like fat, but
You
it's like
called
how,
yourself Jabba the Hutt.
It's like
fat.
how you were sitting.
That's worse.
You were
Which is
like-
worse?
You were like sitting black, a little slack jawed a little bit.
I mean, and you should have done something like, "Oh, solo, ho 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 ho, solo,
Godinga inca nipple
solo."
Oh man, that's
I love
an
his little buddy.
awful picture. But we're going to talk about that next week. That experience.
Has anybody
think-
ever told you got a little bit of white in your beard over there?
Yeah, I have several spots of white in my
Oh,
beard.
cool. Just wondering.
The one other thing I wanted to hit on just for 2 seconds was because we saw
It's been more than 2 seconds.
a bunch of good point for 2 minutes. A bunch of connected.
Internet
I
of
use
Things.
quotes.
Internet of Things.
Yeah, water bottles.
What?
Wait,
To do what? To keep
go
it at
on.
a certain temperature?
No, these are supposed to tell you how much water you've drank
Oh,
and how
right.
much drank,
I
how much
don't-
water you've drinking, drank,
Drinked.
Drink it.
drinked,
Drink it.
and how much
Drink,
more you need
drink.
to drink before you meet your goal for the day.
A nag. You're-
That's
Basically,
all.
okay.
it's a water.
That's what
It's
they
a
need
water
to start
bottle
calling
nag.
certain things.
A
It's like
nag.
this is the nag such.
Yeah.
Yep, a water bottle nag, and I saw several of those there. I just grabbed one pamphlet from one of them, but
I got a joke for after
it's,
we get
it's
done.
one of those things. I'm just like, is dehydration in the workplace really that big of a deal?
I don't think so.
I mean,
but
I can
they want
No,
people to-
I'm
dehydration
sure
is a lot
there's-
more rampant than you would
I'm sure
think.
there's a small handful of people that need this kind of reminder.
Dude,
All of
there's
us need that
people
kind of
that
line.
love that kind of stuff.
I'm dehydrated right now. See, like how slow my skin retracts.
Well, I guarantee all of us are dehydrated right now.
I'm sure Jaren is, because every day
My hands are prunes.
we'd walk around and I would drink 3+ water bottles throughout the day.
Nothing for him.
Jaren would drink half of one.
Wow.
Well, Tony weighs twice as much as me.
Hey,
literally.
don't defer this. Don't defer this.
And he looked like Jabba the Hutt in that picture.
Oh, that's
Man,
true. That's
this
true.
is getting mean.
Katika Inca Solo.
So okay, I'll concede a little bit in the fact that I am 3 times your size. But the point is,
You could have a Jared
Does-
inside you piloting you.
I could actually. I'm big enough and he's small enough. I'd be like
How do you know I don't already do that?
I'd be like a Titan and he's the pilot.
Spread the cheeks, crawl in. There you go.
What's happening?
Tony opens up
What's
to receive
happening?
him.
What's going on here?
I just grab him and shove him in, and then we run around and shoot other Titans. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to hit, Jaren, on CES for this episode?
Not for this episode. There's some things I thought were boring, but we can talk about that next time.
So
And then-
that is pretty exciting.
So there's
the
couple
one thing.
other-
So I have one thing I want to talk about on there.
Yeah.
And you guys have probably read about it because it's pretty crazy. It's getting a lot of news coverage, actually, in the major news outlets about Project. I want to say Valerie
I
because
thought it was Valerie.
but it's Valerie.
Yeah.
It's definitely Valerie, but I want to say Valerie because it reminds me of Game of Thrones.
The steel?
Yeah. So, but because it
Valerian
was so
steel.
Valerie and
Chrome.
Ariana.
Oh, Ariana.
Ariana's the projector.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Of. Project Ariana.
Got stolen. So first of all, let's talk about them. They are
So-
the laptop. They're prototypes. The laptop Valerie had 3 4K displays natively on it.
3 4K IGZO G-Sync displays.
Okay, so I didn't catch the last part of that, but the first
What-
part sounded really cool.
And what makes this so cool is
didn't get out.
they autonomously slide out from the top.
That's what I was going to ask. Do they fold in like a
no, so
reflector?
they slide
Mechanically,
out.
or you
Mechanically.
have to no,
No,
they
you raise the lid and hit a button and they go
So that's
and lock,
pretty much
and lock into place.
something right out of Tony Stark's arsenal right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I want
now
one.
these they had at least 2 from what I understand,
Really?
and at least one of them got stolen.
Yeah, one of them got stolen, the prototype. So
And
maybe we'll
these-
see some
these
cheaper
are-
ones. get
Yeah,
out there on
these
the
are
market.
prototypes. Razer right now is offering $25,000
Yeah.
to anyone that can give useful information to recovering.
Recovering.
They also got the Project Ariana too. They got both.
Did
of
they
them.
get both of those?
Yeah, it says they were both stolen.
I read somewhere that one of each was stolen. Then I read somewhere that was 2 of the laptops
Oh,
got
okay.
stolen.
Maybe that
I
was
don't, I
it.
don't remember. It seems more likely that it was one of each because on the display for it they had them next to each other.
Right.
The laptop and
That
the projector.
seems like something like Ocean's 11, like movie-esque.
How
type
would-
of,
yeah, like-
how do you have the
Or it's
gumption to-
just some white guy that just walked by
And just
like,
did it,
no,
right?
no, no. It was
With enough
under
confidence.
glass.
So it had to be somebody masquerading as the cleanup crew, taking the set down.
You know
Well,
what?
that
Day.
glass was easy just to pick up, though. You did
But
that
still-
to another booth.
I did, but what?
Did you
Wait
really
a
pick up
second.
glass?
Yeah.
And I picked up one of the
Wait
glass
a
domes.
second.
And I was like, is this? Oh, yeah. So the thing, though, is in that in the Razer booth, you had at least a dozen Razer employees
Oh, yeah.
there with their badges,
Yeah. It's
gotta
watching
be
everything and
planned.
answering
But this is
questions.
Vegas. Do you not remember that card story that
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
told you?
Inside
That's
job.
their
I was-
$100 bill.
I was going to say it had to be a distraction.
What's
for
the sound that they make?
and then they run.
so,
Scatter!
I was scared.
But I saw it in person and it was stunning. It was awesome.
Did they do anything on it besides the wavy ribbon light display, or did they have
they had-
anything loaded on it?
Yeah,
I
they
mean-
had a video running.
Okay.
And you
What
could
OS was running on it? Was it
It
Windows?
was Windows.
Awesome.
I mean, it behaves just like a three screen setup
Right.
on a desktop. So I think the game that it was running a loop on was Overwatch.
Okay.
And
Oh, it's such a good game.
and it was awesome.
So they
I
talk
mean,
about any of the other specs inside, like
yeah.
how's
So
it,
so
how's
it's
it-
based on the Razer Blade Pro line of laptops. So
Okay.
it's 17-inch, has the latest i7 processor, 32 gigabytes of RAM,
Dude.
and an NVIDIA 1080 baked into there, as well as I don't know how many terabytes or 512 gigabytes of SSD was in there, but that's an option on the Razer Blade Pro 512 up to 2 terabytes of flash. But I mean, it was top of the line in every aspect.
Did you get to see it close? Was it? It was probably pretty thick,
I didn't get to see it close, but yeah, I looked at the dimensions. It's probably close to 2 inches closed.
Yeah, okay.
But
which is kind of a step away from this MacBook type of and laptop trend going thinner and thinner.
Right.
Thinner.
And the Razer laptops themselves are very thin
Yeah.
for the quality of the power and the specs that they have. But just the fact alone that they built prototypes and it looked ready
Full
for
on.
market.
Right.
And it pops out screens. I
It's
mean,
That is
cool.
awesome.
it was awesome.
Going back to how they stole it, speaking as a person who works in the ladder industry, not
Speaking
to
as a
brag or
person
anything,
who has stolen things in the past.
all you need to do is carry a ladder, and you can get
Act
into
like you know what you're doing.
anywhere you want to go. Somebody proved this theory by in London you can take a boat tour.
Is this a plug for your company?
No,
Ladders.
well,
He works
In
for a
general.
ladder company.
In
I'm
general.
not going to name the ladder company that I work for, but somebody proved that theory because they took a ladder on the boat tour, the single-story boat tour, and they just walked on. Nobody questioned them.
a single story boat.
They're like, man, it's got a ladder. Seems legit.
Got a ladder.
Let them on.
Move along.
That guy
Move
looks like he
along.
knows what he's doing.
It was actually one of our ladders that he did it with too. So it was
I rarely
Wah, wah.
look like I know what I'm doing.
You don't have a badge, but you are carrying a ladder. All right, come on in.
this guy over
through.
I left my badge in my ladder truck, but I got my ladder.
Why would he take
So-
a ladder on a boat if he's not doing something?
The other prototype device was Ariana.
Ariana. So that's the projector that.
It's a 4K projector that
Did you get to see that?
I
Did they
saw.
throw that?
I didn't
saw
see
it in
it
a case.
We saw it in a case.
Okay.
It wasn't in use.
They didn't show it activated.
But it was surprisingly small. I will say.
was.
A lot of the 4K projectors I've looked at are pretty large.
I'm
and this
wondering
was
if it
pretty
like
small.
I'm wondering if it tracked. So did you have to put it like right behind the screen to make it? Because if you go watch the video or the demos, you can see that it takes your screen and then expands the existing screen, right?
Yeah.
Like monitor or whatever you have, and
Right.
it kind of adds like this whole other element. So you'll have like the screen where you're centered on, but then all around you at a 4K display is this
Right.
big projected thing.
And that in and of itself is not new
No.
technology. Microsoft showed off that same kind of thing right before the Xbox One was released, and everyone was wondering if that was going to be part of the Xbox One.
It wasn't.
So, conspiracy theory.
I don't have one.
Razer stole their own product so they could get tech coverage.
I've
VR.
read that. I've read
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I hope that's not the case because that's pretty lame, and they didn't need any more coverage on those two
Yeah.
devices anyway.
It
Because
was
they
already
were
pretty rad.
already huge.
Yeah, but
at
it's
the
still
show.
more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
But still, if any of you are browsing on the dark webs and you
And-
see that for sale, you guys ever visited the dark web? Any of you?
No.
Okay, it's pretty crazy.
Is
One
that like a DOS type thing where it's
No.
a black background?
Nope. It's a dark web of scary stuff.
One of the things that was cool
Will you take me there?
Yeah.
about
No.
one of the things that was cool about Project Ariana 2 is it could be used just as a projector if you wanted. Oh, cool. So you could use it as just a 4K projector if you wanted. And the other thing, too, was I don't know how they fit all that into one box, but apparently it would scan the room with lasers, I guess, or something. And if you had deformations on the wall, like a bookshelf or something like that, it would take into effect that aspect ratio
Really?
and adjust the projection so that it seemed natural going
So
over
it like
those
tip
objects.
tip the lens either way.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So pretty
Tony
pretty
Stark
neat.
esque.
That's weird. Yeah.
So hopefully they recover that, and
If it can do that with like flat surfaces, just it's only a matter of time till you can blow smoke and then it can do like a 3D image.
right, yeah,
That'd be
Right.
really cool.
That's
So-
cool and sad. They said that they think it's They're like we think it's corporate espionage and stuff like that.
Wow.
There's been a lot of because
Think
it's a
someone-
prototype.
Yeah,
so
someone from
so-
like MSI
yeah,
or Asus.
somebody just came and was like,
We're
well,
tired of you making better laptops than us. We're still in there.
Give it here. But
So-
yeah, I know this is kind of like a weird side thing, but like talking about 3D holograms, do you guys remember Minority Report? How the 3D holograms worked in that?
Oh yeah.
I see that's kind of where holograms would be,
Well,
where it's
I'm
it's
thinking-
a
Interactive.
thing, but it's kind of still a 2D image, but it can like walk towards you and away from you kind of thing.
oh yeah,
I see
yeah.
that's where.
The one they were on like glass panels, weren't they?
Oh
No,
yeah. When
it
he
was still
uh,
just 3D, but like you go to the side and you could see it's almost like it deteriorates as it
Oh,
goes
yeah,
back.
But he was
yeah.
watching his dead son.
That's
on the
right.
On the shelf.
I was thinking of something else. Or another good scene that has it that I'm remembering is when he's walking through the mall.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, But that's where I see like the actual like consumer grade
Well,
level.
Here's the thing: is that's what those spinny hologram projectors looked like. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
it
but
wouldn't have been the
They just
same
got to
respect
find a way to
'cause-
safeify that.
Yeah, you have a spin.
You're in America. We buy Whoppers here. So they're not good for
Are you
you.
calling us fat?
Yep.
Jabba the Hutt.
Katinka Inka.
Solo.
Ho, ho, ho. All right. I think is that it for us? I think
That's it.
Did we hit
For
everything
this-
that we want to talk
Yeah.
I
about?
hope so. It's
Cycle.
been a long episode.
Yeah. How long? What are we at right now?
An hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's
not bad.
Not that bad. So, okay, well, that was CES Part 1. Join us in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about the other stuff that we saw at CES that we feel is worth covering.
And I'm going to talk about my mission belt that I'm not wearing. Never mind.
And, okay. Anyway, I think that's it. We're done. Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.